All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike. We're not doing an intro because Smeggy's not here again.
Oh wait.
Wrong intro.
Oh man, I've been gone a while.
Yeah, you certainly have. All right, so let me introduce my panelists. I'm Night Strike, as always, and that was our good friend Sean, who decided to show back up.
Recently retired from morning shows.
Did you get in trouble for it?
No. I kind of like the hiatus, actually. Thank you, Daily Gun Show.
And then we have Travis P11.
What is going on? This is Travis P11, guys. Hey, check out my channel over at gunchannels.com. It's Caliber Corner. You can find me over there, and my channel on VidMe is Travis P11. Hey, thanks for the invite, man.
No problem. Don't check his channel out. Don't, because he posts you can go to vid.me, and go and look at his videos. He posts 20 a day. You'll be fine.
6. Not 26. Just 6. And not every day. I haven't posted one for 2 days now. And I'm almost done putting up the whole catalog, so Night Strike soon. Very soon it'll be all done.
I just have to joke about it.
No, I know. It's all right, man.
All right. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? I have no idea. We had something, and then we didn't, and then we did, and
then we got old, and with age comes senility, and we forgot what the hell we were going to talk about.
We did, but that's okay. We've got something because our good buddy Jose sent us in an email. We're going to go over this, and then if we got an actual topic by that point after we're done with it, then we will see where that takes us. So, all right. You guys know Jose. He sends us emails in all the time here on Hit or Miss. He writes us saying this. I have a friend that drove to California and forgot he had his Glock 19 in his glove compartment with a 15-round mag. Once in CA, my friend remembered and realized that in CA, if you get pulled over, you have the duty to inform. Also, the glove compartment makes it concealed. My question is, what can he have done to not get in serious trouble if pulled over?
Not get pulled over.
He took apart the gun slide frame, mag, and had them all separated from each other. Then I just drove the speed limit and prayed. Then he just drove the speed limit and prayed not to get pulled over. One more thing. California, go fuck yourself. Attaboy. Attaboy, Jose. Attaboy. So,
are the basic FOPA rules going to protect you if you're from out of state just traveling through or not? The FOPA rules where you just have to keep the ammo separate from the firearm in 2 separate locations or whatever the deal is.
If he had a loaded magazine, he has to unload the magazine and I guess put the ammo in a lockbox or something.
Well, do you want to end up in a California jail or what? Yeah.
As far as the 15-round magazine, I would say hide that somewhere in your car where they can't find it. Because remember, you still have even if your state allows for the 10-round the 15-round magazines, California does not. I think they would go after him for it, and they would and there would be a shitstorm. Really.
If he's that concerned about it, he could toss it and go buy a 10-rounder, local one. Yeah. If he's that paranoid about something happening, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a loss, but again, jail or lose a mag,
Absolutely. What do you think, Sean?
I think you shouldn't worry about it. Seriously. I mean, if you're going to stay, that's one thing. If you're passing through, like you said, take it apart, lock your glove box, and just don't get pulled over.
But, I mean, they can pull them over for the dumbest things. I mean, here in Nebraska, we pull over people on I-80 for going left to center, and all they did was weave over for 2 seconds, and they just happen to have a California plate on their car or Colorado plate on their car, and then they get busted for drugs. I mean, that happens every day, They'll find a reason to pull them over if they want to.
I mean, I live in a free state where I'm allowed to even carry in my car without a CHL if I wanted to. So it's like I can't wrap my head around the idea of having to be that paranoid.
Well, I live in a state where I'm allowed to carry in my car without a CHL too, but
yeah, same here.
Only my car. That's the issue. So
I mean, he must have been far from home when he crossed the border and goes, shit, you know?
Yeah. Next time, Jose, tell your friend if he's not already in jail to.
All right, Jose, this is what you do. He gets pulled over, and the officer starts talking to him. Accuse him of getting his gender label wrong, because then he would have just broken that new law. So now you have the legal moral high ground.
That proposed law.
I thought that shit got passed. And they passed
it
it
passed yet.
this weekend.
Yeah, so, all right. So, I honestly, on that one, that's a doozy.
I don't think they have time to pull you over. They're too busy trying to put out the north half of the state anyway.
Right now, yeah. All right, so who we got out there on the YouTube side? We got Big Racer, we got AC97, we got Zinger, Grim90. We've got Rich White. We got WB. We got DTemp62. We have Car Carrier. Oh, man. Who else we have? You Boost Phallus. There we go. That's who we have out on the YouTube side. So, guys, what do you think out there on the YouTube side? What do you think about the whole car situation with California? You know, I don't honestly. I would hope that that FOPA would go and protect them. But remember, some states don't necessarily follow FOPA, because what happens if you know, I don't know, does California let you carry hollow points? Because if they don't let you carry hollow points, then if he's got hollow points in that thing, that's just another thing. Because remember, even if you have the Firearm Owners Protection Act, New Jersey will still pull you over even if you're just driving through and arrest you for it.
You're thinking about that woman who had to fight for her life, basically.
Yep.
Big Racer's got a good point. He goes, how do you forget about that anyway? Yeah, you might not want to forget you got a loaded handgun in your car, especially if you're going to be traveling to a state that I would look the laws upon the state before I travel to that state. That's the first thing I do is see specifically, are they going to recognize, my concealed carry permit? What's it going to entitle me to? What are the specifics about? And it is a pain in the butt because some states have different laws about how you can carry a pistol in your car and transport and stuff like that. And there's really no easy way to figure it out. Yeah.
How many of you actually leave a loaded gun in your car when you get home for the day?
Nope.
I don't do that. Like, what I usually do is I have a bag that I carry, like, my tools and my stuff for work, and I leave it in there. So I put it in there, then I put it in the car, and then I get to my destination, and then the bag comes with me. So it's like, the only way he would have forgot is if he never takes the gun out of the car when he gets to wherever he's going.
Yeah. That's a possibility. I could understand that. Like, you get going, you're like, oh God, I forgot I left it in there. I do, guys, and the reason why is because I have a garage that locks, and I lock the doors of my vehicle in my garage with the locked garage door. I've got a 2-car garage out back, and then actually I park in the joined garage in my house, the garage that's built into the house, so the chance of somebody getting in there is going to be fairly slim. Plus, that gun, that's not my carry gun. That gun is in a lockbox, which is mounted in my vehicle. So it's just there as a spare. And I have
dedicated
the keys.
Vehicle car or vehicle gun.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I do it, because we travel a lot on the weekends. It's just more convenient. I mean, I always have my carry gun with me, but it's a second pistol. So it's not a big deal. I mean, I guess I don't worry about that, but I don't have to park outside overnight. So and if I do, like say I'm staying at the family member's house, I'll actually take that pistol inside with me. But when I'm home, I generally don't have to worry about it.
Apparently we have Darth Vader in here. Garage, can you breathe?
What's up, Garage?
Garage must be outside, man.
Any louder, please. The full effect.
I am your father, Garage.
Sorry, I'm getting used to it. I just got one of those headsets like Travis has got, and it's a little too close to the nose, apparently.
It's all right.
Turn the volume down.
Man.
But yeah, I myself, I don't leave it in there. I take it out with me. Though I do lock the glove compartment when I leave the car when I go somewhere. when I come back to it, I unlock it just so I have access to it. But here's the thing: I don't forget it's in there. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. So, you never know. Some things he may just have one hell of a week, and he left it in there at the end of the week. You don't know. I can't. I have to give his friend the benefit of the doubt on that, because while I myself remember where my shit is and take it with me, the problem is I can understand that not everyone thinks about that.
We'll go to Jimmy real quick. Jimmy, I know you got to talk about the early watch and the Daily Good Show.
Hey, Jimmy, you're on the wrong show.
Jimmy, do you ever sleep, man? That's a question I got for you. Weren't you on this morning at like 8:30? We'll take that as a yes.
Hiding the snoring right now.
He's snoring. Hey, what's up, man? My Jimmy impersonation.
But Phoenix out there in the chat, the YouTube chat, just said, "Lone Star, I'm your brother's best friend's cousin's roommate."
So what does that make us? Absolutely nothing. Little space balls in the house.
Yep.
We've been
Spaceballs.
jammed.
Raspberry. I hate raspberry jam. There's only one man who would use raspberry jam on me. Helmet down. Lone Star.
I'm telling you, we could do a dramatic reading of that movie and make it look good.
That's right. Comb the desert. Okay.
Oh,
You guys find anything? No.
no. How
about
about
you
you?
No.
Nope. And
How about you
you?
guys?
We ain't found shit. Cue the Afro pick on that one. Cue the Afro pick on that one.
Yeah. That was the best part of that movie right there.
And the older I get, the funny part is it's just like the movie Airplane. The older I get, the more jokes I actually understand in it, because I saw it when I was like 6, and I thought it was just a parody of Star Wars, which it kind of was, but half the jokes in it I didn't understand, And you watch it again 40 years later, 30 years later, like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
She's gone from suck to blow.
What's your name? Asshole, sir. Major asshole.
Good
Can't
quote.
help it,
Good-
sir. He's my cousin.
It's like, great, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Keep firing, assholes. All right.
No,
My bad about that. I'm horrible at multitasking.
I got.
There's Jimmy. There he is. There he
Yeah,
is.
one more. No. Light speed is too slow. We need something faster. We need something like
slow?
ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed. We don't know if this ship can take it. It's never been tested. What's the matter,
Colonel Sanders? Chicken.
Chicken. It's great.
Don, you can just do the whole movie, man. Let's just start at the beginning.
We could.
I don't
Sort
think
of
I've
like
seen
Full
that
Metal
movie in like
Jacket.
20 years.
A string of great quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one good. The Spaceballs is just like an iconic. It's a cult classic. What is? But we're not. This isn't the Geeks and Guns podcast. This is Hit or Miss. So let's get back around onto a topic of some sort. Travis, go ahead. I give up.
Okay. All right. So it's been recently released that the Vegas shooter was taking some anti-anxiety meds that he started back in June. And now in the news, they're talking about him going on these all-night benders, gambling, and him being one of the #1 video poker players in the world. So now we keep saying, and we keep hearing every time that there's a MRTM's making me laugh there in the chat. We keep saying that mental health is the issue, that there's mental health issues that need to be addressed. So I'm thinking, okay, so where's the left and the right going to take that? Are they going to just start coming after people's firearms if they take antidepressants or they take, anti-anxiety pills? I'm just kind of curious, where are they going to go with it? Because if we keep saying as a community, mental health is the issue, what is our plan? What are we going to propose? Because the worst case scenario is, well, if you're on these meds, you don't get the guns anymore, because don't some states already have that where your doctor can say that you're unstable to own a firearm? Whereas you might be taking a light dose of an antidepressant for your whole life, 30 years, 40 years, right?
Yeah,
and you've never had an issue before and you're a firearm owner.
In
So
some
where
states,
is-
like California, that basically bans you from firearms for life.
Okay, so I'm just worried that that's gonna amplify and explode now that this has come out that he's been taking meds. Well, we need to look into it. We need to do something about it. So let's start pulling the guns away. Say you got family members that are taking antidepressants. Do you have to worry about not being allowed to keep guns in your home because you have members in your home that take them, or people that take anti-anxiety meds?
This is known as the slippery slope.
Normally
so
for
it's-
like anxiety though, like your outburst is going to be like something sudden. This was something that was planned out. It was meticulously planned out, and it was thought it probably took him several hours, if not days, to get all that crap up there. So this wasn't just some anxiety outburst.
Well, there's a lot of I hate to say this, and we're going to go down the rabbit hole of this a little bit, but here's the thing. I've heard things about where he sued the hotel he was staying in, because he tripped and fell on the wet floor there years before and sued and lost in court. I heard about that. And then there's also a thing where, did you hear about the people saying that there may be more to this because there's a conspiracy because it seems like there was somebody else in the room before all this shit went down, and that person could have been the one to do all this, shoot him, and then run up to the floors above, which are owned by a Saudi prince or Dubai or somebody. What is it? It's called what? The Four Seasons.
What, the hotel he was at?
Yeah.
No, it was Mandalay Bay.
It's a little bit, yeah.
Hey, you don't pay attention to the news either, Night Strike? Damn.
No. The top floors of that were called like Four Seasons
all of
or
Las
something.
Vegas.
No, yeah, I'm just giving you shit.
No, the top floors are called like Four Seasons or something.
I don't know. My bank account doesn't work right for the top floors.
But that's what they were saying, that that person did that and then ran up to those where you can't get access unless you're Saudi or something.
I like my theory better.
But granted, this is crackpot conspiracy theory, but either way, I mean, I'm just going to mention it because while it sounds ridiculous, there may be some merit in there because they, even the authorities said there may have been somebody else in that room.
This is a guy who had the financial means to buy MG-42s and belts of ammunition, and he could have wreaked havoc. This is a guy who had the financial means to take one of his private planes and crash it into that crowd and kill everybody. What I think happened is, and this is my crackpot conspiracy theory, is the last time the HPA was supposed to be listened to and tabled, there was a shooting at the baseball thing. So they shelved it for a while. And then this guy decided that September 30th was going to be the last day of his life, which just happened to be the last day of the Gun Rights Policy Conference, which just happened to be the weekend before, once again, Congress was going to talk about the HPA and the SHARE Act. Now, given this guy's financial being and what he actually chose to use, he selected something that the average person can get. Now, he had more of it, and he had high-end versions of it, but he had the things that you and I could get every day. And I think that it would be more reasonable to say, instead of this two-shooter theory and all this other nonsense, that he deliberately calculated his moves and chose his tools very carefully to make a direct attack on gun rights and die as a martyr for it. Because there's no other evidence or manifestos or anything to really explain his motive otherwise.
Right.
Because if
yeah,
he crashed a
seriously.
plane full of fuel into a crowd of 22,000 people, you're going to have a lot of dead bodies. Way more than what he did with just, a bunch of guns.
Well, and you saw they said that he did fire at the fuel tanks. Now they're saying that he shot at the fuel tanks with tracer rounds that they recovered from the scene. From the fuel tanks they got shot.
See, so what that makes me wonder is, did he do that because he wanted to hurt more people, but it was still 900 feet away? Or did he do that because he actually did plan an exit strategy and it just didn't go to plan?
That's a good point. That would have diverted everybody's attention away from what was going on in the building.
Exactly. And they
that
could have said, the explosion could have shattered those windows, and he would have been long gone. Because they said that he was looking at locations in Chicago and Boston and one other place too, which means this might have been more than one attack. But that's my crackpot theory, because it just seems to make sense given the tools, the lack of motive, just how it all went down.
Yeah. Too many coincidences that are lining up together. Like it's weird, man.
Wasn't the shooter at the baseball field? Wasn't he like an older guy too? Where everybody was like, "This doesn't make any sense. It was out of character."
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's a 65-year-old dude. He's pretty much done everything he wanted to do in life. What's he going to do? Let me leave a mark and end gun rights in America by taking it away from everybody, by using the very things that most people can get.
Yeah, let me put a $100 crap stock on a $2,000 annual defense rifle.
Yeah, because they estimate that the value of everything he had up there was over $50,000. These weren't cheap rifles.
Yeah, I'm very suspect still too. Even if he had a luggage rack or whatever, how did he lug all them things up there? I don't know. It's everything about the whole situation is suspect. Even down to the cops had to breach the second room that he was supposedly running back and forth to.
The best thing I heard was, show us the CCTV footage in the hallway of him lugging in 900 pounds of stuff.
Think about it. With him being rich, he probably had one of the little luggage guys carrying it up there for him.
That's fine, but we don't know that. We can't see that.
We'll never
see it. See that too.
We'll never see it. Footage is gone.
Right.
That's gonna get
They're
released.
in the same place with Bin Laden's, death photo.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
But that whole situation, the way things are surrounding it, it just begs the question whether there's actually a conspiracy there or not. Because on one hand, yes, I know I want to look for a conspiracy theory. Yes, I do. But at the same time, there are legitimate concerns because of it. Because there's that lawsuit with the Mandela Bay. Because
I remember what we were going to talk about now.
So
now I remember, because we're talking about this, right?
Right.
There was a story that broke that victims of the Vegas incident and victims' families of the Vegas incident are suing Slide Fire Systems for negligence. Quote, negligence. This is another shining example of blaming the tool, not the idiot wielding it. Because every time there's a drunk driver, you don't see some asshole suing Ford or suing Toyota for it. They sue the guy or his family or something else. And yet the firearms industry is the only one that seems to get a legal pass by these people trying to get money and compensation. And it shouldn't be that way, because it's not the tool's fault, it's the idiot wielding it.
And Travis T out there on the YouTube side, I know we're spouting out some conspiracy theories, but it's just one of those evenings. And
we're just saying they're theories. We're not saying this is the gospel.
No. We're just going down the rabbit hole tonight, because why the hell not? But
yeah, we were floundering for what we were going to talk about, but that was the thing that I wanted to talk about.
Then let's segue into that. So, why would they sue them for negligence? What? Because they didn't have a warning label on the bump fire stock saying, "Warning: misuse of this could possibly hurt someone."
No, what possible warning could they put in there? Warning: using this device may actually motivate you to be a mass murderer. Come on, really?
Don't aim
There's
this
no
at a
warning.
couple.
Quote Dianne Feinstein, there is not a ban out there that we could put in front of somebody to stop something like this from happening. Well, guess what? There's no warning you can put on a bump fire stock to prevent something like this from happening.
Okay, I don't have a 92 FS, so have any of you ever owned a 92 FS or used one?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what the warning label says that's etched into the frame?
Not all of them
fire without magazine inserted.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe what they want is they want that kind of warning label on bump fire stocks because it's not in the plastic.
Okay,
There's
do
no
forks
warning.
need to have it etched in there where it says overuse of this product will make you a lard ass?
No, it's a good point. It's a fair point.
Well, what I'm curious is, when did you hear this story, Sean? Was this recent, like today
This
or yesterday?
morning.
This morning.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We
You
were
brought it
talking
up.
after the Daily Gun Show.
Well, check this out. October 6th, right? They're calling now the Democrats for the repeal of the Protection of Lawful Commerce Act, which protects gun manufacturers in the same kind of situation that we're talking about. So, another coincidence there.
Coincidence? I think not. Not a coincidence. People want to shift the blame around, and they'd rather shift it to, that instead of, shift it to what's really the problem, which is gun control.
Here, I'll
That's
put a
the
link on the
problem.
internal. This is what hit my phone.
Restricting the people of guns never ends well. Just look at what happened to Europe during the 30s and 40s.
And I'm kind of going with D2. I mean, he didn't really say that the dude conspired, obviously. So I'm not. A theory would imply that maybe it was a conspiracy. I'm saying there's definitely something going on. I don't know what kind of a conspiracy. I mean, even I was hearing somebody talk an agenda. It could be whatever they were looking for, whether it be anti-gun, whether it be. I heard one going off that Vegas was looking to get a new security contract or something like that, but they didn't have any good reason to get it. So,
Right.
Oh, the best one I heard is that he was a former FBI plant.
yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, I heard that one.
He used to work for Lockheed Martin and all that. I don't know. There's a bunch of crazy stuff going around.
Next we'll hear, he knows the whereabouts of Amelia Earhart.
Okay, so let me read you about what's going on out there on the YouTube side, and then I'll go switch over to the gun channels. Okay.
Here.
So, Scott Pacini out there saying that families tried suing the movie theater in Colorado and ended up owing the movie theater hundreds of thousands of dollars because the Brady campaign gave them bad legal advice. And Travis goes on to say, Brady campaign wasn't named as plaintiff, so they weren't liable for court costs and legal fees. And Scott responds with, "Yeah, but do you think put the families up to suing? Yeah, but who do you think put the families up to suing them and gave them the legal advice? Yeah, it's probably the Brady campaign. So I don't know who's responsible as far as suing. What is it, Slide Fire Systems?
Well, I don't know if it's that specific brand. The story says suing bump stock maker, and they're the most well known. So
it's not Slide. It is Slide Fire Systems. It is.
Okay.
But I don't know if they're suing them or if they're going after the smaller one.
I don't know. I mean, whoever makes
prices
it.
of them things jumped up. What if he worked for Slide Fire?
No.
Just trying to raise this.
They got a warehouse full of them. They need to move out. Okay, take one for the team, Scotty.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did not need a live fire demo to sell more of those.
No.
Oh.
Not in that instance.
Ooh, D-Temp is saying that this guy who did this was a retired CPA that watched the accountant too many times.
Oh, Jesus.
And there might be something there. Let's see what's going on the gun channel side. John is going on and on about stuff. I did not see John out there. Does anybody see John out there?
John Z?
Yeah.
You had to step away for a second to go wash dishes.
Is he done washing dishes?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
D2F I'd put a good little warning that they could have did aim away from face.
Aim away from face. And
I mean, what warning could they have put?
well,
There is no warning.
okay.
Exactly.
Aim away from face and others.
You can't, there isn't a warning you can make. There isn't a ban you can employ. There isn't a law you can pass. Evil has its own motivation. And when The people, when the majority of the sheeple kind of people out there realize that and get their head out of their ass, then they'll realize that laws only hurt the people. The laws only work because people put the faith in the system. But the criminal and evil has no faith in the system. They don't care about the system.
It doesn't apply to them.
The quicker you come to realize that, the quicker you realize that these laws are pointless.
The problem is, Sean, that the point they realize it and they realize that they fucked up being sheeple. It's already 1984 and it's already too late.
They're already of retirement age and they're eating applesauce through a straw. Which is just about the same time I expect the HPA to pass. Thanks to people like them.
Not even that. All right. So, what next? Where do we go from here, guys? You guys out there on the YouTube side or the Gun Channel side, you got anything to add? Yes, 04 Henny, I agree. You can't fix stupid.
Yeah.
It is true.
You can lift an eye, you can fix your titties, but you can't fix stupid. Stupid is forever.
No, Scott, I'm fine. It's been one of those days.
So
he had to fight off Dr. No today. That's why he's just exhausted.
There you go. What is the status right now on bump fire legislation? Where are they? Have they officially said they're going to be banned at a certain date? Have they passed anything yet?
Nope.
Not
passing anything.
Actually, they didn't
not passing anything. They've already said we are not passing any legislation for or against firearms because what do they say? Knee-jerk reactions lead to bad legislation. That came from Paul Ryan and
that's
Bitch
on
McConnell.
a national level, though. You don't know what's going on from state to state.
Yeah, I don't.
Texas ain't
there's
doing
the question.
Shit, so.
Here's the thing. Even
Well,
on
I
the
know
national
Washington,
level,
Governor of Washington. I don't know if he's proposed the bill yet, but I'm sure his AG is getting ready to put something out there.
Here's the thing. On let me load this up right here. On the national level, they did introduce a bill. 10 Republicans signed on to the bill. But let's look at the Republicans. Peter King from New York. Leonard Lance from New Jersey. Patrick Meehan from Pennsylvania. Ed Royce from California. Chris Smith from New Jersey. Eric Paulson from Minnesota. Ryan Costello from Pennsylvania. Ileana Ross.
Elena.
Lehtinen from Florida. And Charlie Dent from Pennsylvania.
Get on your people, Moon.
Moon?
What's up with that, Moon?
What the fuck is going on with Pennsylvania? Since when did you got? When were your Republicans liberals? What the fuck, Moon? If this is what your representatives are, you need new representatives. Seriously.
Hey, we said the exact same thing about the NRA today. Remember? We talked about that this morning.
Yeah, we did talk about the NRA this morning.
You shouldn't go burning your underwear and tearing up your NRA shit. No, you need to change who's running it.
But the bill pretty much the bill. I'm going to go over this anyways because it you know.
Go ahead.
Listen to this. To amend Title 18 USC to prohibit the manufacture, possession, or transfer of any part or combination of parts that is designed and functions to increase the rate of fire of a semi-automatic rifle, but does not convert the semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, they're splitting the hair now.
And for the other purposes.
Yeah, they're starting to split the hair.
Being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled. So they're not just splitting hairs; they're trying to hit us where it hurts.
Well, no, they're basically getting ready to ban Jerry Miculek.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be bump stock and bump stock accessories. So it's gonna be goddamn fucking excuse my language.
All the
binary triggers, everything.
Yeah, it can include, but not limited to the binary triggers, the GAT crank, the the bump fire stocks, or even, those really shitty, springs that you put on your trigger guard to try and do the whole bump fire thing that they've been trying to sell since like the 80s and 90s. You remember that stuff, right? So
I don't think it's going to pass.
All that
if the House
stuff,
Majority Leader's not going to allow it to pass.
all that stuff will be banned underneath this. But if we let them get this, if we don't say something to our representatives, and I'm imploring all of you, whether you like bump fire stocks or not, or whether you can give two shits about it, the issue is we can't let them have this one, because if they get this, look at what's written right here. If they get this, they'll say, all right, that worked. Let's start banning other accessories and whatnot to rifles to the point where all they can do is have the rifle, but they can't even really use it. Then we can just ban the rifle because they can't use it. They're doing the whole whittling away, the death by 1,000 cuts. Do not let them get this far. I implore every single one of you viewing, contact your representatives and tell them to say no to this shit. Please.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is G's cake analogy in a nutshell, basically. Right now we're down to the plate and the last bite, and they want the frosting off the last bite.
They want to leave us with crumbs, dude.
Well,
No,
they don't even want the crumbs. They want to take the plate.
Yeah.
Essentially, they want to take the plate, but they keep pecking and pecking and pecking. And now what they're doing is based off of the NRA statement and based off of what we all know will be the ATF's finding when they grab one of these bump fire stocks and they say, okay, the definition of fully automatic is this, and the definition of semi-automatic is this. Does this convert this definition to this definition? The answer is no, because it's still, all it does is assist in making the one shot per trigger pull faster. That's all it does, which means it doesn't convert anything. It's just an assistance device, just like the SIG brace is an assistance device to people with disabilities. That was its original, quote, intent, right? So if the ATF is going to rule obviously in our favor because of the definitions that they created and they uphold that, now they're trying to introduce legislation to say, well, maybe it doesn't need to be fully automatic. Maybe we need to do bans on assisting the speed of semi-automatic. And then that's when people like us need to act. Be like, hey, fucker, you've split this hair enough. Enough is enough. Because it's still not going to stop crazy from being crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to get on them. Because they keep splitting the hair by trying to peck away at definitions. Or now they're trying to create laws in between definitions.
Now, I realize in some states bump fire stocks are already banned anyways because your state legislation doesn't like you enough, and they want to make your life miserable. California, but please don't let them do this. If they do this, it's over. Might as well just turn everything in, because under that bill in particular, that means anything that you own even before this bill came into effect isn't grandfathered in. It's contraband by that point. It gets enacted. So,
will it though?
I would like to be optimistic in believing no, but considering how many Republicans said, "Oh yeah, we're for this shit," I'm not so sure how optimistic I can be.
Well, 10 in 4 really stupid states. Right?
True.
There's still 90 other senators. That's how outnumbered they are.
And I just hope there's enough on the side of the Second Amendment that would say no to that. I would hope. All right, so yeah, Phoenix, I wish. He says, I say fuck them, repeal the 86 ban. Yeah, I'd like to see that get repealed, but...
Well, my stance on this. We should get rid of just the NFA in the first place. We should get rid of the ATF in the first place, because everything that the ATF does is just a redundancy to things that are already out there. We have the Bureau of Weights and Measures, and we've got like the Department of Agriculture. There's your alcohol and tobacco regulation taken care of. Firearms and explosives, that's the FBI's job. So why the fuck do we have an ATF?
Okay.
What's the point?
I'm not gonna say this out loud because I don't want them to know. But Scott, I know what you're saying. I have plans, so don't worry about it. That information is already out there on the internet. All you have to do is just download it.
Oh, something else we talked about this morning, clearly.
Yeah. So
I know what that is.
Yeah. So that's all we'll say on that. But yeah. AC 97 saying only hope for the Hughes Amendment getting lifted is a Supreme Court ruling. That's it. And since the Supreme Court the people that would rule on the Supreme Court, half of them, or a little more than half of them, are liberal, that's not going to happen.
Well, we're just counting the days until that woman, that female justice that's like 200,000 years old. Like, she's the next one to pretty much croak, right? So that's it, you know? It's like we're just counting the days for that.
And I agree with what DF Tudor is saying. He and Pans agree that we should be asking for them to repeal the 86 ban. You know, we'll take it.
You're talking about
the Share Act.
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking about chipping away back our rights. Whereas if you can get a president and a majority of the Senate and enough of the Supreme Court to agree to getting rid of the NFA, then you just take it all back. Because all you have to do is illustrate there aren't gangsters anymore. There isn't prohibition anymore. You know, the cops are better armed than most of the population nowadays. So the NFA is useless. You know, they keep talking about, oh, we need to repeal the, like, I'm going to quote Michael Moore, right? We need to repeal the archaic Second Amendment because it was created during a time of muskets and shit. And it's like, well, then we should start by repealing the NFA first because there's no prohibition anymore.
I've got a response for Michael Moore, or whatever his name is. Okay, take your opinion and shove it up your ass. Then write it down on parchment paper using a quill pen with ink. Then put it in an envelope and send it via a guy on a horse to me, and only then can we discuss why you're fucking wrong.
Well, it should be noted that the 1934 legislation in the NFA was not, like all gun control, it was not a play because of the gangsters. It was a play because of control. It was to gain control. And it utilized a few isolated incidents with gangsters to do that.
The excuse they needed.
The majority of organized crime back then was not using Tommy guns and things like we've seen on TV. And if you would go crack some books, you would know that. So it was a play for control. It's just like they're hitting us now with this crazy guy uses this device to create this havoc. We need to ban said device. That happened back then. A crazy gangster used said device, you know, to kill a bunch of cops or whatever, and we have to ban that device. It's all about what can we use to gain, you know, to get rid of this stuff to gain more control. That's all.
Yeah. So, all right.
I've said it before and I will say it again. The only gun control measure that I will ever agree with is how exactly deep your wallet is. That's it. If you can afford it, in my eyes, buy it. It should be legal in this country.
Well, that's the thing, though. If there was no 86 Act, then a lot of the toys that most of us can't afford now would be affordable.
Yep. So they would still be covered under NFA, but yeah.
Right. I mean, okay, I can see why you guys are saying just get rid of the 86. Because if you did that, and I can have, let's say, you know, an auto Chris Vector, and I pay $1,700 for it instead of, you know, 20 grand for like an M16.
That just ain't right. right. That's just not right, man.
Well, I could get, I could just jury rig. I could just do whatever the form I need to convert, my AR-15 to, full auto, and I just, use a drop-in sear or something like a lightning link, and there you go. I'm done.
Yeah, like I could
pay
pay
$200 tax on
paying
one
an
of my
NFA on that. Sure.
Yeah, I can see that. That's acceptable. But
You know what that is?
$36,000 for a registered M16. No.
Yes, but see, that's a concession we're making again. We're saying we're okay with paying a tax stamp just to get the full auto toys, but we don't need to. We don't need to concede because that's all we've ever done.
Yep.
See? I mean, that's the way G would argue that. Just take back the whole fucking cake.
Yeah.
Because we're not the ones who broke the law in the first place to get it taken away from us.
Technically, even if we got rid of the NFA, we'd still have to remove the Hughes.
Yeah, fine. You get rid of the NFA, the Hughes doesn't have a foundation to stand on anymore.
But it's still in effect.
I don't know about that. I don't know that it's not a shorter leap than you think from getting rid of the NRA. The NFA. Well, we just come off that discussion, so yeah. I think it's a fairly short leap from NFA to Hughes because NFA the Hughes is predicated on NFA.
Right. So it's if you
go away with one, I mean, how did? Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly like the thing that we were talking about from them taking things away from us. We would basically neuter it so bad that they'd be like, well, fuck it. We might as well get rid of, the Hughes Amendment because it's useless without the NFA. We can play their game against them that way.
Yeah. That's another reason why I'm not willing to just say it's okay to lay bump fires down on the fire and work on something else. We should be moving. I agree with DTF, what he said. We need to move in the right direction. We'll never take the whole cake in one step, but we're never going to fucking get anywhere if we keep moving backwards and giving them shit instead of getting shit.
No, yeah. we need to push forward, but we need to let whoever it is we have to know that we won't stand for more legislation against. We want them to get off their fucking asses, grow a pair of balls, and actually go and pass some pro-gun legislation like they fucking promised for their campaigns. It's time you actually, practice what you preach when you go and campaign instead of giving us false promises, lies, and do nothing and get paid for it. If I don't do a job right and I just sit around on my ass, you think I keep my job? No, I get fucking fired for it.
No, if you do that, then you clearly work for the NFL.
Oh no, that's only if I take a knee. Sean, that's only if I take a knee, and I stand and I pledge the Pledge of Allegiance. Damn it! But I mean, you see my point. They're getting away with doing nothing in the Senate and the House right now, not passing any legislation one way or the other, and not fulfilling any campaign promises. Hell, just one campaign promise, and then I'd be okay. Sure, I'll give you. You can't fulfill everything, but at least one. God fucking damn it.
Well, you know what it is, don't you? This is a game. It's all gamesmanship. They're gauging how angry the voting American public was to put Trump in office. So they were like, wow, America was pissed. Now we got this guy in office, right? Now what they're doing is as little as possible to see how mad the voters are because we're complacent that our guy got elected. Now it's a case of, whoa, we got to put you to the fire. We're still angry. We still want things done. See, right now what they're doing is they squander the whole first 2 months of the session year just by standing in, doing roll call and saying, okay, what are we going to talk about in the summer session? Because we have to take a month off before then. And they start, writing shit down. And then they go off for the summer. And then they come back in July or August. And they're like, all right, let's get down. Oh, wait, no, we can't do that. There was a shooting. They just keep squandering their time. When they come back for the winter session or whichever session they're in right now, what are they doing? They're full on re-election mode right now already. And they've barely been in there for their first year. because they just keep wasting time.
Yeah, and
That's a good point, man.
Here's another thing, Sean. Why don't we bring this up? Because since we're on this, how convenient is it for every time there's like the share or the shush or even national reciprocity gets close to actually being sent to the floor for a vote, that something mysteriously happens to turn everything the opposite direction.
Oh, you mean like a shooting?
Like a shooting, yes. It's way too convenient.
That plays into the whole conspiracy theory thing.
I know it plays into the conspiracy thing, but the thing is, it's happened more than twice now.
What happened?
Hey, have you ever considered that maybe the conspiracy thing is a conspiracy thing?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Conspiracy paradox.
Maybe they make it look like a conspiracy, so everybody thinks it's a conspiracy, so they can then point at the crazy people that think it's a conspiracy.
And then conspire against them.
I think we're just a bunch of beer swilling, mac and cheese eating, NASCAR watching idiots. That's what they think.
Right.
Hey, I eat my mac and cheese with bacon. All right, let's just get that out right now. So, yeah.
Pretty good.
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
That get Buffalo. That.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like the whole conspiracy inception thing, though. The conspiracy inside of a conspiracy. That actually kind of makes sense.
Inside of dreams, inside of dreams.
Yeah.
I have to admit, though, I'm kind of ashamed of myself. I did drink a foreign beer tonight.
Really?
Which one?
It was a Heineken.
Lone Star.
Yeah.
Belgians make the best beer.
Somebody say Lone Star in the background there.
I did. Yeah.
That's in Texas, man.
Hey, you know what? That's not too far-fetched.
For Ellis, that's a foreign beer. I'm sorry.
Oh man, different county. Yeah.
All right.
Far-fetched. Go to next time you go to a bar, order a Shinerbach or a St. Arnold's, and they will charge you an import cost.
Guys, I have a question to ask. It's a very important one. Ghost, how's your leak?
It's not as bad as what it made out to be.
It never
I
is.
thought I was going to come home and I thought there would be water flooded in the kitchen and all that. And it was one of the water bottles in the bathroom just not shutting off all the way. And it's kind of, but yeah, the way that the text was, I went out of my kitchen when I got home, but it wasn't bad.
And yes, mid-TN Outdoors, I have heard from Never Enough Ammo. It's just he was on the road last night, and he was not able to do his podcast because, and I quote, I'll bring up the text message that he sent me. Let's see.
I think he also had like 3 interviews yesterday, didn't he?
I asked him, hey, Matt, I yes, I did say this. I said, it's Jonas in Night Strike in parentheses, of course. Are you still doing the chat tonight, or is it postponed? And his response was, no, man, the Wi-Fi is shit. The Wi-Fi here is shit. I'll be back home tomorrow. So he should be home now, so he'll probably do his show tomorrow. Cross your fingers. But he was not able to do it last night. So anyone that's wondering about that.
Well, he didn't get up there until Sunday night, so he's already left.
Anyway.
Yeah, he should be home by now.
Are you kidding?
I thought he was going to be there for a few days. He was only there for like a day then.
Yeah, he only went up there and then went down.
Wow. I guess they found a house. Maybe he got a job. I don't know.
Who knows?
Next thing you know, surprise announcement. Hey guys, I'm moving to Houston. Like, great. 4570 every day.
I'm waiting on something like that to change where he comes back and literally he's moving back to the Dallas area or the Panhandle or something.
Or he gonna stay there and just buy another house.
Oklahoma.
He can stay there.
Yeah.
We just have to stay here.
Hey, maybe he'll just decide to come out with the good people, South Carolina.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Hang out with me and Night Strike, We go home.
That he wouldn't do that.
Well, you know, Ellis, we got Garage Guns, and I went and met Garage Guns over the weekend. He gave me a really, really awesome holster. I would say it's the only holster with Duke Nukem on it.
You're shitting me.
I saw the picture on Instagram. It was cool, man.
No, it's on Instagram. It's on Instagram.
Yeah,
He posted pictures of it. So
Do that. Why would you feed the fire?
why not?
He's getting his concealed weapons permit. I figured I'd hook him up with his first holster.
He didn't want to get striked at night. Okay, he didn't want to get striked at night.
That's true. That's true. Good God.
Garage, I'm gonna have to get with you, man, because I really liked how that was. Maybe make an early watch one or something like that. See how
Now I have to admit, I didn't make the holster. I have a buddy down here who's a deputy sheriff, and he makes all my holsters for me. But I can get you guys anything you want.
Okay, cool. Make a
Nice.
1911
Yeah,
government full size.
that's what mine is. So I don't. You can't see the light, but there it is. Let me turn the light on.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Let me turn the light on.
It looked like Duke Nukem was like looking around the corner of the computer.
Is it me, or is it kind of creepy that Jonas is sitting there in the dark doing his live chat?
We all are. We all are. Here,
I'm
let
outside
me make
in the
it
dark.
easy on you guys. Here, I'll bring up Instagram. All right, watch. All right, here you go.
All right. So, more light.
You
Very
guys see
nice.
that?
Click
Yeah.
on him.
That's pretty
Oh
sweet.
yeah, I saw it when Garage posted it.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
light. There's Duke Nukem.
It's pretty
Look
cool, man.
at you. Look at you.
And by the way, I did check it, and it does fit.
Well, that's good. That's an important part of a holster.
That's the important part that the gun fits in it, right?
We did use a Kimber as a mold, so
Well, I hope it'll hold up because I know how those Mim parts and Kimbers. They're members. Yeah, remember,
so Night Strike,
DB is right about that.
when are you taking the class?
I don't know because I was waiting for Ellis, and now Ellis
Hey,
is
Alice.
gonna.
When are you
Ellis is
taking
gonna
the class?
Yeah, right.
Well, now that you're not waiting on Ellis, you can go whenever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go whenever I want. So I'll probably schedule it either if I can schedule for one this month. If not, I will probably get it next month.
Whoa. How come Ellis isn't going now?
Because Ellis said that things are rough.
I think we should do a quick
Super chat time.
All right, here
Super
we go.
chat.
Go, guys.
Super chat.
Let's end.
We're putting that shit down now.
Hey guys, hey guys, super
Uh,
chat, lock and load.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Ellis had to go get a girlfriend, and she took his concealed carry permit money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How do you... Oh, hell no.
Yep, that's what happened apparently.
then once you get done with your concealed weapons class, you can come take one of my class, and I'll teach you how to use it.
I don't know if I could afford one of your classes.
I can see how that all went down. He was like, you could take my concealed carry money, but you'll never take my Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce.
Yeah,
Did
you know
you hear about the
why?
riots of that today?
Yeah.
They're like riots.
Sean, you know why? Because they only sent like 10 packets to like 3 McDonald's in the entire Midwest.
I know. It's the
There were like
greatest trolling
fights,
ever.
literal fights going over this. I was cracking up when I saw that.
Yeah,
Is that real?
they were rioting in the McDonald's.
It's
yeah.
very real. There were
Okay.
select McDonald's that were getting these packets of Szechuan, but they were only giving like 20 packets per McDonald's, and there were literal fights over the Szechuan packets. Like
I
literal
saw one of
fights.
those
Yeah,
fights.
Dame Drops did a review on him on YouTube. I'm like, I can't believe McDonald's wanted to associate themselves with that show, though. You know?
You know how much money they could make if they just brought that shit back and sold it
Yeah.
by the gallon?
We need to bring back the McRib as a
McRib. That's what I'm talking
They
about.
bring
McRib needs
it
to be a
back every
permanent
year.
staple.
No,
It comes
no,
back
not
from time to time.
They need to
It
bring
does.
it back and keep it
We
back.
see it here like 3 times a year these days.
But it needs to stay. But it's for here. It's like it's like for 3 days a piece. So you get like 10 days a year.
Yeah, when they bring the McRib back, it needs to stay. Seriously.
Because
I just make
everyone
my
needs their
own.
injected
Yeah, you can go buy 'em up at
gelatinous
the
goo.
Make your own. I mean, it's not that difficult.
No.
No.
They have ones you can microwave. You can buy them in like grocery store delis, and you just get barbecue sauce and onions and get kind of a bun that's similar. And
I tell you,
Other
that
Travis is pissed right now. We're talking McDonald's food.
dude, it's a McRib. It's its own thing. You know, it's its own.
here's the thing.
You know,
if
you
any
just
of
gotta
you
get
have a
more
Save-A-Lot near
involved,
you, okay, here's what you do. You go to Save-A-Lot. They've got these boneless riblets in barbecue sauce. You get that. You take a sandwich.
my baby,
You
my
take
baby,
some
my baby,
chopped
my baby,
onions,
barbecue
put it on
sauce.
top, and that is literally a McRib right there because that pork riblet tastes exactly like a McRib.
Yeah, but the riblets that are here, I do mine a little different because the riblets that I get here, the barbecue sauce they use is not even close. The McDonald's sauce is a little bit sweeter sauce. So what I do
Add some
is
sugar then.
I
AC
take
Master.
now I use Sweet Baby Ray's because it's great on pork anyway.
Ooh, Sweet Baby Ray's is good
And,
stuff.
so what I do is I take it off. I will slightly thaw them out, let them thaw, and then I'll like wash the patties while they're kind of still frozen. You know what I mean?
Original or spicy Sweet Baby Ray's?
Damn it, why are we talking food again?
We have
I didn't
not.
realize they made it. I didn't realize they made it.
Because Midnight Range TM is out in our
Baby
chat.
Ray's, you gotta go spicy.
Yeah, spicy. Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay, do you guys remember
The spicy depends if you use any type of a rub and that sort of thing, then the spicy is not that important. Like for my ribs that I make some awesome ribs, and I do a rub and all first, and so you get all the spice and stuff from that, and then I just finish it off with some Sweet Baby Ray's, and it's good. But yeah, if you're just dumping
other
sauce
Travis is
on
out
it,
there pounding his pork, and you're rubbing your meat. So I mean, you know.
Good God. If you hadn't realized it yet, most Gun
rub
Channel
my
members
ribs.
are closet foodies.
Absolutely, we all are.
Oh no, we're gonna get into barbecue arguments now. Look at the other Travis. Ribs need rub. F
Yeah,
the
they do.
sauce. Now we're gonna start going with Carolina barbecue versus KC barbecue versus.
Well, y'all lose because
Texas brisket. You gotta go
Man,
Texas brisket.
I just
man.
eat it all. I just eat it all. I don't even care. All right, it doesn't matter. It's all good. There's
You
enough room
haven't-
in my stomach for all of them. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
You haven't lived until
I've
you had
noticed
really
since I moved
true
down to
Texas
South
brisket.
Carolina, though.
Oh no,
the
you know what? I
mustard-
did Ghost. I did. That's all I usually eat when I go down there every summer, man. There's a Marine that has a truck at the what the hell is it? The brewery that makes Temptress. His food truck shows up. Best brisket I've ever had in my life is down in Texas.
Oh,
and this is coming
hell
from a
yeah.
kid whose dad's been working in a beef packing plant for 40 years. All right. So I mean, I'm used to we're a beef family, dude. And I mean that brisket, I've never had anything like it before. It's amazing.
You need to go get some Rudy's cream corn. Oh,
My other favorite place to go to down there is Babe's Chicken Dinner House. I think it's in Plano. Family style fried chicken joint that they have down there. Oh God, unreal.
it wasn't there.
It's a
when
shame I
was
got to
there.
travel 800 miles to get good barbecue, but I will.
I know a guy who traveled 800 miles from your state just to have a Whataburger.
Oh man, that's good too.
You
Oh, I
can't
do.
really
I
get
got
Whataburger either.
I got the sweet and spicy this summer. That was freaking amazing. It's funny when I stay with my friends down there. My buddy and I look for excuses to leave just to go out to eat. We're like, yeah, we got to go get some computer parts. We run over to Jack in the Box and get tacos, and then go to Whataburger, and it's terrible.
Jack in the Box is pretty good too, man.
Oh man, Jumbo Jack at 2 a.m, dude.
Yumbo Yak with Yimmy
You'll
Yangs.
Yep.
Yeah, but you can go get a taco. You can get a teriyaki bowl.
They got
Anything
everything,
you want,
man.
man.
They got everything. Oh, I'm so jealous.
We have sickened the audience.
All right. Enough. We don't want to piss off. We don't want to piss off the audience too much. All right, so
Dude, they come to the show expecting to be pissed off. What are you talking about?
No, they expect Night Strike to be pissed off, screaming,
and yes, Pants, I am having an anti-Antifa barbecue on the 4th of November. Me and Ellis has decided we're going to have a barbecue. Garage Guns, if you want to come down, you're more than invited.
Hey, Jimmy's got the ultimate barbecue gun now.
So, well,
All y'all congratulate Jimmy
Oh,
on his
yeah.
new ultimate home defense tool.
What
did Jimmy get?
The Aquave say?
You got what?
You got
Aquave say.
The Aquave setter, what is that? It's like a volleyball position or something?
Shockwave.
Come on now, man.
I can't even.
Travis,
I
you're a
heard
teacher,
Aquave setter. That's what I heard 3 times. What the hell is Aquave setter?
He was speaking
you're a
gun
teacher,
Latin.
you don't know what pig Latin?
Gun Latin.
Oh, yes, I understand now. No, yeah. Sometimes Spanish comes off like pig Latin in my class, but yeah, no. yeah. I got you, man. I hear you. All right, we're
I
good.
got one of them little things. See what it does.
We have made the hour.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
And then some.
It's time to nudge everyone along over to Rick's Big Gunner 81 podcast, I think.
Wait, is he
Is he
still
still
running
having
a show
one?
tonight?
he
I
should be
believe he is.
running one. I don't know how he's going to do it. He said he was
I thought,
still
yeah,
doing
I thought
something.
he. I
tonight.
thought
I
I
was
heard
just
that he
gonna
got
say he
banned.
can't do live shit.
Live.
So
That
how's he?
doesn't mean he
Oh,
can't
good
use
point.
another account or
That's true.
get somebody
We'll
else
create
to
another
host
one.
and he just jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Rick, Big Gunner 81, one of the hardest working guys on gun channels, had his live streaming rights revoked from, the YouTube Reich. Probably
Why?
because, half his channel was him building those evil black rifles from all 50 states.
Well, I was watching. I'm a fan of Jarhead6. I don't know if you ever watch his videos on YouTube. I like his videos. He's just, he's got 40,000 subs. All of his videos were officially demonetized, I think, this morning or yesterday.
Yep.
He's got videos where he doesn't even talk about anything politically motivated. Everything's been nailed. And
Well,
I'm
Jarhead
waiting.
Six is a good dude.
And Rick doesn't even curse in any of his videos whatsoever.
Yeah.
Neither does this guy he's talking about either.
Jarhead doesn't either. I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, he's just an average dude talking about. He's got a lot of good topics. And I'm like, wow. I mean, what can you do to not get demonetized other than the cosmetics or a food channel? I might end up having to do a food channel if I get demonetized. I might be just like testing like bolognas and stuff or testing out ramen.
I think you should do a complete chat in Spanish and see what happens.
We can
with
do
that.
that. We can do that. I thought about doing.
Travis, you need to come down to South Carolina. We'll have a barbecue and you can do the whole thing in Spanish.
That's fine. We can broadcast it live. I'll be talking about my favorite recipes. There we go. I'll bring some salsa picante with me when I come down there. Yeah.
Live from the Jonas compound.
There we go, man. That'll be awesome. I can
See,
do
he's embracing all of his witticisms.
Well,
He's
I
embracing
can
it now.
do the Spanish telecast.
At least no one is pushing the Neil
Telemundo.
Striker on me.
He'll even put on the blue dress.
Closed caption provided by Travis P11.
There you go. That's right.
I spent about 10 minutes trying to decide if I was going to put a blue dress on that holster or not.
Oh,
You still can. You can still
that
do
might
that.
be his present form right there.
But he still
No,
hasn't found the weird white stain
I
yet.
didn't do it.
no. All right.
He said, "All right." Now where are you gonna go?
Now we're going to end this. So I want to thank my panelists for jumping in and staying with us.
There it is. There it is.
I'm just going to list your names off. You guys don't have to say anything. I'm just going to list you off.
Just look at Travis's screen.
Travis.
Yeah.
Travis, don't make it. I'll do it.
I just bought one. I'm just showing off this toy I bought for my niece.
I will totally do your ass.
It says on the back of the box she strikes at night. So
No.
yeah. I love you guys.
Right.
Oh my
All
god.
right.
I'm done. All right. I'm done.
Thank you for showing up, Clover.
Did I just say a Dom made out of Night Strike or made out of Night Strike?
Jimmy, thank you for showing up. Garage Guns, thanks for showing up.
Well, it was
Ghost-
inspired. More
Ghost
inspired.
Tactical, Sean, John Z, Ellis, Too Hottie, and Travis P11. Thank you guys for showing up. Out there on the YouTube side, thank you guys for jumping in and being part of Hit or Miss tonight. I really appreciate it. And
encourage them to send suggestions to your email thing.
Yes, please send suggestions and topics that you'd like us to discuss, questions to email address that is nightstrike1@gmail.com. That's NIGHTSTRYKE, the number 1@gmail.com. We'll go over it. So there we go. Again, thank you guys on the Gun Channel side for watching and sticking with us and commenting as well. I don't know if Travis P11 is really going to do the thing for Ellis, the super chat for Ellis. I doubt it. But if he does, stay tuned. But that's it tonight. We have come full circle. Thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss.
See ya.
Bye from the